How powerful is America? You can estimate the power of the United States from the fact that there is not a single country in the world on whose land or on whose border an American military base or its fleet has not been established. The United States has 800 military bases outside its land around the world, while the three largest powers in the world after the United States, Russia, France, and Great Britain, have a total of 30 military bases. This shows the long and strong arms of the United States.
The United States military has about 750 bases overseas, across 80 countries and colonies. That means that about 4 out of every 10 countries have US bases on them, across every continent except Antarctica. But having that many military bases abroad is normal, right? In fact, only about a dozen other countries even have foreign military bases, with just 70 combined between them. That means the US has the other 90%. So why is that? And what would the world look like if the US shut its overseas military bases down? By the end of the Cold War, there were 1,600 US military bases in 40 countries and colonies. Today, the number of military bases is half that, but the number of countries and colonies that host these bases have doubled. Japan and Germany still have 119 US bases. South Korea has 76. It's important to note, included in these 750 bases outside the US are US territories where citizens don't have the same rights as mainland US citizens, like Guam, Puerto Rico, and American Samoa. Over 400 overseas US bases are large bases with more than 200 military personnel. The rest are small bases, or lily pads, that usually hold drones, surveillance aircraft, or pre-positioned weaponry and supplies. These are largely found in Africa, Eastern Europe, and Latin America. Like this drone site in Niger, this airstrip in the Galapagos Islands.
The military budget is $611 billion. This defense budget is more than the total budget of the major powers China, Russia, France, Great Britain, Saudi Arabia, India, Germany.
Spenders are the US, China and Russia, who together make up more than half the world's total, but they're nowhere near being equal. US military spending remains without a match, hitting $877 billion last year. That's 3 times higher than China, which has increased its spending for the past 28 years, and both are far higher than Russia, which sits in 3rd place with $86.4 billion.
Joe Biden has unveiled his budget, and it has a couple of good things in it for progressives when it comes to domestic spending, but oh boy, does it have a lot for the military. He has requested $886.4 billion. That's just for the next year. That's just that 1 year, and then we're going to do this again with another nearly $1 trillion. That is an increase of $28 billion just from last year. This is a chart from 2022. This is a comparison of our military budget to basically all of the other big world players. We're bigger than all of them. And by the way, that was when our budget was $801 billion. It's nearly 10% larger than that. Just in this next proposed budget, we've effectively added a Japanese and South Korean military to our military. The increase is larger than the entire military budget of literally dozens of world powers. If you take a look at the changes over the last few years, it just always goes up. Big increases year to year to year. Back in 2018, when we were at $682 billion.
It is believed that the United States alone has 11 aircraft carriers, while the other major military powers of the world after the United States, Russia, China, France, and Great Britain, all of them do not have more than 2 aircraft carriers. The U.S. has enormous political influence in the world. The United States has veto power in the Security Council, the UN's most powerful organ. The 3 major institutions in the world, the United Nations, NATO forces, and the World Bank, cannot exist without U.S. assistance, so these 3 institutions are under the influence of the United States. In addition to these 3 things, the United States provides military and economic assistance to a large part of the world according to its needs, due to which these countries and these geographies remain under its political influence.
America gave the most money away, nearly $31 billion, to at least 40 countries and organizations such as the World Bank. This included $770 million to Pakistan and $250 million to Mexico. This may sound generous, but the United States has the largest economy in the world. American foreign aid spending in 2015 was only 0.17% of the country's gross national income, far less than other rich countries.
Again, as the administrator of USAID, my focus is on humanitarian needs right now. We know after months in which the Lachin Road was blocked, where Azerbaijan was blocking passage of food and fuel along that road to the people.
In terms of knowledge and research, the United States is at the forefront of the world. 17 of the world's top 20 universities are in the United States. Silicon Valley is the place where technology is born, located in the American state of California. Whether they come to gain knowledge, gain experience, or seek money, or the world's best minds are brought here on good packages, big companies like Facebook, Google, Apple, and Microsoft are present in Silicon Valley. The U.S. economy is the world's largest at $23.32 trillion. China is the world's second biggest economy after the United States, but its economy is $7 trillion smaller than the United States. The largest and best coal is found in American soil, and the 10th largest oil reserves are also found in American soil. Its trade profile belongs to the first world, while the countries in front of it are Russia and China. Their trade profile belongs to the third world. America's strength is its successful and oldest democracy, which has been uninterrupted for almost 2 centuries. That is why America's institutions have become independent and strong over time. The propaganda power of Hollywood and the English language being understood all over the world is also a great strength of America. Geographically, the United States is at the best location in the world, where the sea of thousands of kilometers to the east and west serves as a strategic depth for the United States. It has the best relations with Canada in the north, and with Mexico in the south. America's relations are not so bad that its territory can be used against America. United States is the world's only superpower, but to maintain its superpower status, the United States has to constantly increase its exports. If even one link in the continuum is lost, America's superpower status may be in jeopardy.